Awesome. Hello, everybody. My name is Nick. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Bubblemaps, which is a fun and interactive way of exploring blockchain data. I personally believe that on-chain data deserves more love because it is the blood of the crypto system. It is a reflection of everything that happens in our industry, but it is widely overlooked because traditional crypto analytics are too complex, intimidating, overwhelming, and this is why we gamify on-chain data for everyone. Now, the topic of today's discussion is privacy gone? Has privacy ever existed in the first place? And through a couple of examples, through a couple of investigations that we've done recently, I'm going to show you that the answer is no. Short answer, no. Crypto is not private. Privacy is not a feature of EVM chains, and on-chain data is actually proving this. All right, so let me go on and share my screen. And I'm actually going to share sometimes the PDF, but sometimes directly the website so you can see what I'm talking about in real time. All right. So a little bit about us briefly. So as I said, Bubblemaps make on-chain data fun and interactive. We've been working with many chains who share our passion for on-chain data, such as Avalanche, Solana, Polygon, Arbitrum, and many more. Many other chains are coming in our V2, which is going to be announced very soon. We've reached 200,000 monthly active users, both direct traffic on bubblemaps.io and indirect traffic on our partners, Palm.fun, Photon, CoinGecko, and many more. We raised 3 million last year, and we recently blown up on Twitter. Maybe you've seen some of our threads with Andrew Tate, Jason Derulo, Iggy Azalea. We've been busy recently with all the celebrities, meme coin meta. I'm not quite sure if you guys have been following this incredible couple of months with the celebrities launching tokens on Solana, but it has been certainly entertaining. So we were quite busy recently on Twitter. With that being said, let me go back to the first question, which is privacy gone? And I'm going to show you a couple of examples. And you know what? We're going to try to answer this together. So let's start with Satoshi VM. Am I full screen, by the way? Yeah, that should be all right. Anyway, so Satoshi VM is a token that launched earlier this year in 2024. And when they launched, everybody was wondering how a token out of the blue, completely unheard of, manages to get $250 million in volume day one. 250 million. Without any centralized exchange, by the way. It was all happening on a DEX on Uniswap. Everybody was wondering, but the answer was easy to find, because on Twitter, we saw that all the biggest influencers were pushing this token. All of them. To be precise, 250 influencers were promoting this token very hard on Twitter, and it felt very orchestrated. So with my team of on-chain detective, we started to wonder, is this coordinated, or are all those influencers suddenly genuinely interested in this token? Look, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the bubble map of this token, which shows the network of holders and how they're connected. So let me just share directly the map. I want to keep this fun and interactive. So let me share this here. Awesome. So look, what I'm showing here is the bubble map of Satoshi VM, where each bubble is a holder of Satoshi VM. The bigger the bubble, the more token you own, by the way, the more Satoshi VM you own. And if bubbles are connected, if bubbles are linked, like here, it means that the wallets have sent each other funds, meaning that the wallets know each other. And if they know each other, you have to wonder why. Is this a private sale? Is this a pre-sale? Is this the team? What's going on? A cluster is never there by accident. There's always a specific reason, a specific meaning or behavior hiding in a cluster. And you can see like on the screen, there's actually many different clusters going on. So we're going to try to understand what does this cluster means, right? And I'm going to start by this green cluster here in the middle of the screen. And ladies and gentlemen, what you can see here are 250 KOLs, influencers who receive tokens in a KOL round before the token exploded, before the token was made public. And the reason we know this is 250 KOLs is because the amounts that were sent, you can click on show transfers to see the amount that were sent are quite similar. Murtaza, for example, he's a pretty big guy on Twitter. He received 26,000 Satoshi VM. And then Thor, 10,000 Satoshi VM. You can see based on how influential they are, they receive less or more tokens. So that's why we knew that was influencers. And also because we have a labeling team that goes across Twitter, that goes across Reddit, every social media, and tries to collect addresses from many different people. So that's how we knew that was an influencer. And all of these people, as soon as the token launched, for the most part, they sold. I think, if I remember correctly, more than 50% of the supply for KOLs, of course. So this cluster was sold at launch and they made 7 million in profits. So they profited. They were quite happy and quite comfortable with this token. So that's the reason this token exploded. And those influencers were incentivized to talk about Satoshi VM. They were paid for this, and by promoting the token, they were pushing their own bag, pumping their own bags in the process, attracting the retail. And this is why so much volume was made. Now, this is only one cluster. We have other clusters in this map that we have to understand. This one in yellow, the big one, is the team of Satoshi VM. The team of Satoshi VM, they made around, if I remember, a couple of millions, 2 millions, by selling through all of these intermediary wallets that you can see here. So instead of selling with one wallet, which would be super obvious, super clear, and it would have created FUD within their communities, instead, they decided to send tokens to these intermediary wallets and then sell, which is, let's say, more under the radar, but not with Bubblemaps, unfortunately. And last but not least, you have those two clusters who are snipers. And those snipers are actually the biggest winners of this token because they made respectively 8 million and 6 million, something like this. So huge, huge gains. And what is a sniper? A sniper is an address who managed to buy the token as soon as the token is launched within the same block. And because they managed to buy so early before anybody else, they can get a huge chunk of the supply for basically nothing. And then the token pumps and they can sell and make huge profits. In order for a sniper to be the first to buy, that's quite a funny anecdote, you need to bribe the blockchain. So you need to pay the blockchain a fee, a bribe fee, to be the first to go in the block. And this money is wasted. What I mean by this is you're actually not getting tokens when you bribe the chain. You're just saying, hey, I give the chain 200,000 just to make sure that I'm going to be the first to buy. So you're literally throwing money out the window, but you get first, so you get a better price. And those snipers here, they were willing to spend 300,000 in bribe fee to be guaranteed to be the first one. This is why we believe this is not an innocent sniper. This is not a sniper who was just who happened to come here. This was someone with information who knew this token was going to blow up. So for us, this is what we call an insider sniper. All right. So that being said, this is the first investigation that I wanted to show you. It's quite an interesting one. It was picked up by PsychXBT, who is the biggest on-chain detective in the game. So this is the first investigation. I hope it was clear. I don't have your feedback, but I hope I was clear enough. Now, I'm going to talk about someone else who made headlines recently. And this person, everybody knows him. Everybody in the world knows him. It is the infamous Donald Trump. Because a couple of days ago, there was this crazy rumor on Twitter that Donald Trump was launching a token. Let me show you. Here was the tweet from Pirate Wires. And Pirate Wires is a very serious media outlet They're very recognized, especially in the tech world. And when they said that Trump was launching a token, DGT, crypto Twitter blew up. Everybody was going crazy. Is Donald Trump really jumping ahead and creating a token? Which is not an absurd assumption. 2 weeks prior, Caitlyn Jenner, which is close to Donald Trump. I'm not so familiar with US crypto politics, right? So forgive me, everybody. But Caitlyn Jenner, she launched a token called Jenner. And we know that the Republican Party is pretty pro crypto, and they've been talking about crypto, etc. So that was not super absurd that Donald Trump was launching a token. And when this rumor started, everybody went crazy. All of a sudden, we saw a token on Solana exploding. What I mean exploding is hundreds of million in volume, hundreds of million. And the market cap reached, I think, $500 million at the peak. Absolutely insane. What we did is we started to investigate. Can this token truly belong to Donald Trump or Donald Trump affiliates? So we started to look on chain. And here is what we saw. This one is super interesting as well. Let me, where is this? Yes, here it is. I hope you can see the screen. So again, what you can see on screen are the top holders of DGT, which is Trump coin, as bubbles. One bubble is a holder. And if bubbles are connected, it means a transfer of SOL occurred between those wallets. You can see SOL being transferred in and out. For example, this wallet in the middle has sent Solana to all those connected wallets. This one as well is in the center, this one and this one. By the way, you can see that all those wallets in the middle are not centralized exchange or DEXs or liquidity pools. They are genuine wallets like you and me. Because sometimes in the middle of a cluster, it can be a genuine DEX or Binance or Coinbase. But in this case, this is not the case at all. So this is SOL transfers, but you can also see USDC transfers or USDT or the token itself, DGT. And what's super interesting is you can see that all those wallets, so 26% of the supply, actually even more if I show this wallet here. So let's say 71, oh, sorry, I wanted to say this one, the wallet number 2. So in reality, 46% of the supply, let me hide this one for now to keep it clean. 46% of the supply actually was sent from one singular wallet. This guy, AXGCE, was the center of this cluster, and all those connected wallets receive tokens from this guy. So the reason we knew this was not from Donald Trump is because this token was heavily controlled. And there is no way a token that comes from a former president is actually so poorly done in terms of the supply. Because usually if you want to do a token, there's nothing inherently wrong with owning a large percentage of the supply. You can own 20, 30, 40%. This is normal. This is the case of any serious VC-backed token. But you don't do it that way. You don't try to hide it. You don't try to obfuscate on-chain data because all of a sudden you look suspicious. What you want to do is be transparent. You want to lock these tokens on a specific smart contract. You want to be clean. You want to be clear with this. So we knew this was not a serious token. And that a couple of days later, we actually learned that this was not Donald Trump. This was allegedly one of his son called Baron Trump. And that Martin Shkreli was actually a part of this token. Martin is, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's the guy who increased the price of a drug from, I'm not sure what drug it was, but from like a couple of dollars to hundreds of dollars. And it was for a while he was labeled as the most hated man in America. From what I've read, all right? Again, I'm not too cute on American politics, but he had this title. And we learned that he was actually running the show with Baron Trump. It was a complicated affair, but Donald Trump never endorsed it, so it was not from Donald Trump, and the price started to decline because crypto is an attention game, and if you fail to attract new buyers and keep the attention alive, the token is going to die in the process. All right? So this is the second example. the reason I'm showing all of these examples is because, again, remember, we want to prove that on-chain data or privacy is not existing in crypto. And with those clusters, with the amount that are being sent, with the shape of the clusters and the frequency and the amount, we can understand behind the scenes. We can see who are the VCs, who are the team members, who are the insiders, who are the true stakeholders of a token. This is easy because on-chain data is transparent. And anything that happens in crypto leaves a permanent trace that can allow you to see through the token. All right? Another example. For this third example, I'm actually going to talk about American universities. So I'm going to talk about you guys and how you're actually part of Uniswap's governance. Shall we? All right. Let me share my PDF. Going back to the deck. Oh, all right. This one is my favorite one. It is hilarious, literally. So let me rewind the tape. We're now in 2023. And CZ, which was the former CEO of Binance, as you know, he stepped down as CEO following a lawsuit with the SEC. It was a complicated thing. But back then, CZ in 2023, he wanted BNB Chain to be on Uniswap. And Uniswap, as you know, is a governance. It's a participative governance, meaning that anybody owning tokens, Uni tokens, can vote on the future of the protocol. And the vote here was, should BNB Chain be added on Uniswap? Should BNB Chain be available on Uniswap? And as you know, it's what I said before, everything that happens in crypto is public, including the votes. And A16Z, Anderson Horowitz, who's one of the biggest crypto VC in the world, they voted against this proposal. But the thing is, as you know, Uniswap, they have A16Z, they have a lot of Uni tokens. They have a lot of Uni tokens because they acquired it very early on. They were one of the first investor of Uniswap. And they own a large percentage of the supply. Everybody believed they were owning 1%, 1.5%. But we actually found out using on-chain data that they own more than 4% of the supply. And because the quorum of Uniswap is 4%, if you own more than the quorum, you can pass votes on your own. You don't need the community to vote. So let's jump in on-chain data and let's try to understand if CZ was funning or if CZ was right. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the map. I love this back and forth between the deck and between the map. All right. So let me go on the map of Uniswap here. So as a reminder, what you can see here on screen are the top holders of Uniswap as bubbles. When bubble is a holder, and if bubbles are connected, it means they have sent each other a Uni token. So you can see the map of Uniswap is quite interesting because it's not super decentralized. There are many clusters. And the way I love to present this is what you can see on screen are political parties, meaning different organizations who are trying to control the governance in a certain way. And let me zoom in here because this cluster is A16Z wallets. The reason we know this is A16Z is because this wallet here is publicly known to be A16Z and it is connected to other wallets. And because it's connected by extension, you can safely assume that all of these connected wallets are A16Z. Now, what is going on here? As I said, by the way, the total amount is 4.15, which is slightly above the quorum. So we posted a thread back then saying, hey, Uniswap is not being super transparent with their governance because there is this huge wallet, this huge cluster that owns more. But then A16Z issued a statement saying, hey, no. Yes, we own a large percent of the supply, but we're not using this to vote because we're using delegates, meaning other parties, to vote on our behalf. And those other parties, we added them on the map. This one is blockchain at Michigan, so the Michigan University. This one is the University of Pennsylvania. This one is another guy. Not only universities, but other people. This one is High Rivery. I think this one is blockchain at Columbia, so Columbia University. And we gave our votes away for these people, right? So that was an interesting defense, because if you indeed gave up your voting power, this makes it more fair. But the question that I'm still asking to this day, and I would be happy to have your answer. My question is, if you're giving voting power to universities, how truly independent are those universities if their voting power can be taken away? So I'd love to have your take on this. Are you truly independent, or is A16Z exercising a certain pressure so you vote in a certain direction? By the way, one thing I want to add as well is that the bubble map of a token is dynamically changing. Because if, like, this was 2 years ago, if I go, I don't know, if I jump 1 year ahead, you can see this cluster is disappearing because the bubble in the middle has been emptied. So a bubble map is like a living organism that changes over time, and you want to understand how the distribution evolves over time. This is actually quite important. But the map of Uniswap is not moving a lot. I have 2 minutes left. So maybe as a form of conclusion, I can talk about how on-chain data can be used if you want to create a token, because I know I'm talking to entrepreneurs here in this chat. So if you're ever thinking about launching a token, I would recommend to be extremely transparent with the way that you build your tokenomics, because nowadays there is no way you're going to hide from on-chain data at all. There's going to be people like us who are going to tell the world what is truly going on behind the scenes. We can easily tell who are your VCs. We can easily tell who are the team, where are the wallets. We can easily tell who are the insiders, who are the marketing wallets, who are the employees. Everything can be seen quite easily with those clusters. So don't try to hide it. It's not, to be honest, it's not worth it. Instead, be extremely transparent from the get-go. You can say, hey, 20% of my supply goes to my VCs. 15% of the supply goes to the team, and I'm going to have this wallet to hold it. And I'm going to lock it for 6 months because I don't need it. So, like, play this game and be transparent, because at the end of the day, you will be one way or another exposed if you don't do this. So you need to do it. One thing that you could do as well is one way to escape on-chain data. There's actually one way, is to use centralized exchanges, because everything that happens on a centralized exchanges is off-chain. If your token is listed on Bybit, OKEx, Binance, whatever, everything is going to happen off-chain, off the record. But you're giving the information to the exchange, so the exchange knows what you're actually doing. Many of these VC-backed tokens, what they do is they're not selling on a DEX because everybody then could see, but they're selling under the radar, liquidating on a centralized exchange. But then again, there are ways to see what is happening, but it's harder to track. With this being said, I have 40 seconds left, so I'm going to wrap it up. I hope this presentation was useful. Use Bubblemaps if you're a token creator, or if you want to invest in a token. Before investing, make sure the token is not centralized. This was Nick from Bubblemaps, and please hit me up if you have any questions. My handle on Telegram is @Bubble, very easy, Bubble. Cheers.
Awesome, Nick. Thank you so much. The chats are kind of blowing up with questions. Guys, I'll pick a couple of random questions because I do understand this can be a very interesting topic, especially with the meme coin mania, especially with the Trump
Oh,
coin,
yes.
and also the controversial delegations from A16Z. I would like to keep it more builder focused. So since the competition got started and many of you are looking for what to build and pairing up with teams, I'll take the first question here from John Adams, where he is asking, what are the primary steps to get started with Bubblemaps IO integration within a web application?
You mean if you want to integrate this on your app? or to
Yes.
learn about Bubblemaps? Okay, so yeah, this is a super interesting question because if you're a builder, we can integrate Bubblemaps on your platform with an iframe. So this is similar to integrating a YouTube video on your homepage or on your site. This could be very easily done. It has, I mean, get in touch with me. We have a GitHub repo, and it's super easy to integrate this on your website. Let me actually show you one example. On OpenSea, if you check any of their NFT, here, boom. On OpenSea, for example, if you go on Pudgy Penguins, you go on their analytics, and the map is directly embedded here for everybody to see. Or on Pom.fun, which is, let's say, the casino of Solana. If you're going to create tokens, if you go, where is this? Oh no, sorry. Let me actually jump on Dex Screener as a better example. Dex Tools. If you go on Dex Tools, for example, you can have the hyperlink here, and when you click the bubble map appears. So if you want to integrate bubble maps on your site, please get in touch. Very easy, one click and it's done. So we'd be happy to integrate with builders from all across the world.
Awesome. Another question that we got is from Incredidos here on Discord. How does Bubblemaps support responsive designs on mobile? Is there an optimized version?
Yeah, so Bubblemaps is responsive on mobile, indeed. Honestly, it's the incredible job of the CTO. It's not my thing, but yes, it is responsive. We don't have a dedicated mobile app, but if you check the site on your mobile, it's going to be super smooth and responsive. Yeah, I
Cool.
think we have 30% of our user on mobile, so it's quite a reasonable amount.
Awesome. Another question regarding in the chat is how does Bubblemaps API dynamically update visualizations based on real-time data feeds? Quite technical, Nick. Not sure if
No. It's a super important question because at the moment, Bubblemaps is not live. What I mean by this is if you want to have the latest data, you need to refresh the map manually, and it takes a minute to refresh. As I said, a Bubblemaps is a living organism that changes over time. On the V2 that we're building, the map is going to be real time. So there is not going to be a refresh button. It's going to be more similar to a block explorer where the data is live by default. So this is what we're building with the V2. And on the V2, not only the map is going to be real time, but you're going to be able to rewind the tape since the inception of the token. It's something we call codename Big Bang, where you're going to say, okay, I want to see Uniswap, how it all started, and you're going to be able to rewind since the inception, when there was, sorry, only one singular bubble holding all the supply, the deployer, and you're going to see these bubbles explode like a financial big bang as the tokenomics suddenly becomes real.
cool. Next question here from Nero. How can we integrate Bubblemaps with backend services? For example, RESTful APIs or GraphQL for
Yep.
data fetching and manipulation.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to integrate Bubblemaps, you can either do this with an iframe, which is going to be directly on your platform, or our API. And again, if you want to get in touch for the API, we're happy to provide it to you, especially for students. I mean, you guys are building and you're still in the beginning of your journey. So if we can help, we'd be happy to do it. Please get in touch at Bubble on Telegram, at Bubble. Very easy.
Awesome, Nick. I think we'll close the floor. If anyone has any questions, please follow the Bubblemaps Twitter, as Nick said earlier on, and also all the documentation that's on the website, correct, Nick?
Absolutely. If you want to follow us, we're Bubblemaps on Twitter. If you like investigations, if you like heated debates, if you like drama on chain, follow us. You'll like it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.